Albion Online is a Western-made sandbox MMORPG with an isometric view released in 2017 by SANDBOX Interactive. It was a successful crowdfunded MMO that raised $10 million towards its development and was developed with a simplistic art style to allow it to be played cross-platformed with mobile devices. In 2019, the game went from a buy-to-play business model to free-to-play. For the most part, the game revolves around PvP and crafting, but it also includes features like PvE, solo and group randomized dungeons, world bosses, player and guild islands, fishing, arena PvP, and Zerg vs Zerg territory battles. In today's review, we will take a look at this game to see how it's held up and if it's even worth playing now. So let's get started. So there's no actual classes, it's just choose your sex and choose your character model. And basically in the game you are what you wear. It's all about the crafted gear. Very limited character customization.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, I'm ready to push the enter world button. You ready to do this?
Yes, sir. Ready to rock and roll.
So are we playing the tutorial? Yeah, that's check mark down there, so I guess we're welcome to doing the tutorial.
Yeah, we can do that.
So left or right mouse click on the ground to move. This feels more like freaking Diablo or something, or Breath of Exiles.
Another survivor.
Alright, I found the wounded crafter.
I'm just looking around. I'm at the quest guy right now. I've already accepted the quest right now.
We gotta climb the lighthouse, look for the ship, check the bridge for enemies, return to wounded crafter in the lighthouse.
Let's get this done.
I guess we go up the stairs here.
Yeah, it kind of tells you where to go with the circles and stuff.
What's with the stupid drumming each time you get into one of the circles? Boom, boom. Alright. Go back down the stairs.
Good job.
You'll need a weapon. I'm sure we can craft you a crude sword. Bring me some logs and stone.
You're my right hand.
Talk about hand-holding.
Yeah, they basically tell you here's go to every circle.
Let's hope it gets a little harder than this. This is a tutorial after all.
Right.
That went swimmingly. We have to get to the others. Hey!
I didn't realize the blacksmith was standing right behind him.
Coming up.
It's very cartoonish.
It's an art style.
Need a hand?
Select a spell on your sword. And then you turn that in and you get the shield.
We've got to work with what we've got. There is no time to waste.
Equip the shield. Go kill our first guy.
Don't forget, you can hit F to do a sprint.
was leaving money all over the ground. Unlock nodes by gaining fame. So it's got like a Path of Exile type tree.
There's a lot of lines going everywhere for that one.
Heading to the ship. Okay, so you're in the tutorial area. If you're playing with friends, they might be in a different tutorial area. Some interactions are blocked during the tutorial. At the end of the tutorial, you'll be able to choose your starting point in Albion. So yeah, what name are you going by in here?
Only Arkyan. I'm like in the very dead middle of the camp right now.
So I'm at the quest giver with the name of Genocide with a J.
You killed those heretics? Bloody good work.
Speak with Captain Taya in the cave.
We have to fix the bloody ship.
Honest prices.
It's asking me. I'm selecting to buy the mule. It's asking me, do I want to buy one piece of novice mule for 3 silver? I'd like to have the whole mule, not just one piece.
Right.
My pleasure.
So I'm trying to grab some wood. I guess this guy that obviously might be a little bit higher than me. He keeps taking the wood away from me.
Beginner's pickaxe. Beginner axe.
You know what to do.
Only the highest quality. Outstanding.
Are you clicking or are you just holding down your mouse
You've
to
done this
run?
before, haven't you?
Both.
Ready for the next one?
Alright, know your place. Your map is valuable out there. Learn to use it. It can tell you which dangers you'll face, what sort of resources you'll find.
I've got your back.
Okay.
On to the next task.
Return to Crafter Celius in the code.
I can definitely see this being a if someone who really digs the life scaling. I can see how this could be a lot of fun.
Well done. That was fast. All right, let's do this.
This is a dream MMO for a crafter.
Exactly.
Someone who's
Yeah.
really into that.
Yep.
Alright, it's telling me to go into the forest now, so I'm actually heading that way.
This dude just stole my kill.
Takes a lot to kill those foxes.
Back already? We will be off this island in no time.
Just want to make sure we're kind of still on the same page. So I have to go find copper ore, copper fiber.
Yep, same
You
thing.
know what to do.
I just entered the winter location.
All right, everybody's riding their mules past me, and I have a mule. So how the hell do you mount? A key. Okay.
Yeah, of course I got over encumbered carrying too much stuff on me right now. I'm gonna dump it as soon as I get done with this.
Let me guess, you didn't buy a mule?
Yeah, I got a mule. It says I can't mount up though for some reason.
Notice there's no space to jump.
Trust in Tia. Her plans
All right,
always work.
refining. Gotta go to the smelter, gotta go to the tanner, the lumber mill, the weaver.
Yeah, I'm just doing the same thing you are right now.
Step back. Yeah, if I have to. Yeah. Goodbye. Excuse the smell. Done. Right. Fine. Nowhere to hide.
Back and forth. Sorry. Leaving?
Fiber to fabric. Sure. Let me.
Alright, so I just started Know Your Enemy. I just got done handing the materials to the captain, whatever.
Yep, heading to the ship.
I hope I don't need this extra material because I'm dumping it.
She floats again. The tides have turned.
We did all that for a bowl of carrot soup?
They messed with the wrong crew.
I think we got screwed, Ben. Go to the outposts in the forest and steal the heretic map. Kill heretics until you reach the learning point. Alright, I'm heading to steal the map. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Oh!
I will admit that this is pretty amazing for the crafting side, though. If you hit B, you can actually see the actual tree of where you can really go with all your crafting, and that is absolutely amazing to see all the possibilities of what your crafter can really do and make and everything. You can click on the and the very farther outer of the circle, you can click on one of them, and it gives you a very specific, you know, like what you can specialize in. That's pretty amazing. That is amazing.
Reminds me a little of Path of Exile with that kind of tree.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it definitely walks your hand through the whole step here, but obviously this is the tutorial and everything. Dude, I almost got a feeling like this is just gonna be a tutorial grind, man. Just to get done with this.
I'm telling you.
Kind of reminds me of Black Desert in a way, like you just gotta, it's just a grind fest. I'm like 34%, 7%, 25, and 30, so I'm about a third of the way. Getting a little crazy for some magic users now.
You almost die yet?
Almost. I had to kite a guy just to get away from him. Kind of funny because they can hurt themselves too. So if you play it right, you can actually steer your enemies into their own damage.
Interesting.
Have you went against their magic users yet?
Yeah. Yeah, they die easy, so like if you're fighting multiple enemies, just switch targets to the magic user and kill him first. Yay, I learned the trainee freaking learning node. Okay. Have you done that yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, one of those icons up there will open up your nodes, and then you can spend a point to unlock it.
Yeah, I did the Destiny Fulfilled too.
That's what I'm
just got
talking
my
about.
account for killing those guys.
It's your decision.
Seriously? Gives me another freaking quest to go to the freaking forges and shit and see what I can craft there. And this is a tutorial?
Come back when you're ready.
Talk to me, where are you?
Yeah.
I'm in the camp here. I just returned back from that thing we just got done doing about knowing your area and everything. So I'm just kind of looking at the crafting menus right now and just seeing about upgrading my weapon right now.
Yeah, so apparently I didn't grab enough copper or leather in order to upgrade my sword to the novice broadsword.
So I gotta make the says the beginner becomes a novice. So I gotta go tier 2 helm, and you know basically you're just gonna go and start crafting all the gear. Yeah, so I gotta go get some logs, and I just gotta start crafting stuff.
Yeah, almost an hour into this, and we're not out of the freaking tutorial yet.
I'm not gonna lie, this is actually kind of like very therapeutic. I don't mind doing this stuff. It's kind of neat.
I'm mining my copper. If I'm not mistaken, this is a German MMO. And I thought the Koreans like to have their grind.
Tia is looking for you.
Alright, so I went to the marketplace and I bought everything I needed and I equipped everything, and that was able to give me everything to update that. Now I'm on to the next one, which is called Distraction. I want to see if I can actually take my old stuff and sell it for money.
Farewell.
Yeah, I found the guy here, makeshift repair station. And the guy has an option to repair all.
Where's that guy at?
You're welcome.
Where the treasure chest is near the boat, he's the guy that's sitting behind the table to the north of that treasure chest.
Okay.
Okay, so is this area, this little camp that we're in, is this the Hunter's Lodge?
I believe it's the guy with
Ready for the
the
wild?
holding the bow on the
okay.
east side.
Found it.
Let's get to work. Of course.
You know, it'd be kind of really interesting is how in depth they are about the
Help
crafting
yourself.
system. If over time, if you were actually able to master all these classes, that would be really cool.
Alright, are we in the actual game yet, or is this still the tutorial?
Honestly, I think this is all still in the tutorial. I think you gotta get all those things knocked out. Because right now, like I'm 4 out of 7 right now. That's what I believe. It's kind of is almost like a situational combat fighting too. It's kind of neat that you have to know your placement when you're going against mobs too, which is kind of cool because you gotta kind of time your attacks and get away, get in and out, and avoid their stuff. Okay, so I just went to the very top and it took me. I kind of finished the whole thing, and it took me to another screen. And I believe I'm done with the tutorial. I believe I am. Yeah, I'm on the boat and I'm off the boat, and now I have the whole world to go anywhere and everywhere we want to go now.
Oh, he hits hard. Alright, lighting the fire, the boat's coming. Fucking past me. Motherfuckers, past me.
Albion is waiting.
Anyone? Yes, you do. You have no idea.
Welcome aboard.
So, where did you travel to, or didn't you travel anywhere yet?
It just automatically just took me to the next next screen. I didn't pick anything.
interesting because the captain is saying choose your destination: swamp cross, forest cross, highland cross, mountain cross, steepest cross, or swamp cross.
Look real quick. Mountain cross is where I'm at.
We anchor.
And I get off the boat. There's a quest giver right here. So where are you? There you are!
There I am. Oh, you went with the whole bow side, man.
I didn't want to go from person to person. I just grabbed the first one I went to be honest with you. All right. So that took about an hour and a half for us to get through the freaking tutorial and just to get partied up. All right, so you ready to score this thing?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's start off with the graphics. The graphics are simplistic, giving off kind of a RuneScape vibe, which some people will like and others will dislike. But overall, the graphics and animations do their job and are decent for this kind of art style. I encountered no graphical glitching or clipping while playing the game, and the only time graphics became an issue when we were in the town hubs, where if there's a lot of people in the same area, it can become easy to get lost and lose your party members in large crowds. I think overall I'm gonna go ahead and give this a score of 7.
Okay. My opinion on this is for the graphics. I think this really complements some of the players that have the labored or even the older computers. I think with the cartoonish type of settings that you could have on that, I really think that it really does work well in those circumstances. I didn't have any lag whatsoever. Given that with the system I have now, I didn't have any issues whatsoever, even in the city. So I'm gonna give that score a 6.
All right, next we got sound and music. For me, the sound effects in this game served their purpose. They were clear, but nothing overly fantastic. The music, on the other hand, was pretty good, changing as you entered a new zone and giving the feel of a somewhat of immersion. Sure, the music will probably get old at some point and you'll end up turning it off, but for what it is, it was pretty good. I'm gonna rate sound and music as a 7.
I think with the sound effects and music, I think that it was therapeutic in a way. Going through the dungeons, I felt comfortable, and I really felt that it was a very pleasing sound, and I really did enjoy it. So I'm gonna give a score of 6 with that one.
All right, this brings us to story. Story or lack of is one of the things that hurts this MMORPG in the scoring, in my opinion. There is no storyline at all. Sure, there's tidbits of back lore presented to you from time to time, but the game plays up to the aspect that is presented as a sandbox MMORPG and that you create your own story. There is a simple 1-minute long cinematic at the start of the game, but it doesn't really come across as a story, but more as a simple description of what the game is. So for story, I'm rating this a 4.
I completely agree with that. I think with the storyline, it was very lackluster, and you really didn't understand what was going on a whole lot, other than the fact that going through the tutorial, it did show you like the how to do things for the most part, but not really giving you a chance of getting in depth into the character and so forth. So I'm going to give that a score of 4.
And this is going to bring us to combat. Okay, combat in this game is pretty unique, operating on a classless system and the ability to wear whatever type of armor and use any type of weapon you want to. Want to be a plate mail wearing mage? You can. Want to mix and match the different armor types? You can. The actual combat is pretty straightforward, but the battles seemed a little on the long side. Combat is definitely an area, in my opinion, where they implemented a bit of a time sink into the game. It's a necessity, something you'll have to do if you want to craft better armor and weapons. Either that or you'll need to join a guild. Does it serve its purpose? Yes. Is there PvP? Yes. Is there endgame dungeons, raids, and guild PvP that all revolve around combat and work? Yes. But in my opinion, it's kind of slow and clunky, and it's done much better in other MMORPGs. So my final score for combat is going to be a 6.
I think with the combat, I really enjoyed the fact that you had to kind of concentrate on where you're going and the directionals of what the enemy was doing to you, because there were certain projectiles and cone attack, and so you did have to kind of pay attention a little bit. It wasn't your, you know, boring run-of-the-mill just click and slash, that type of thing. So it was kind of entertaining to go through that and really pay attention to what you're doing. So I'm gonna give that a score of 5.
And that brings us to gameplay. The game itself played smooth. Its simplistic nature makes it so that the game will probably run fine on almost any system. I encountered no bugs while playing, which is always good. We did encounter in the game what are called solo random dungeons, and these are kind of annoying as they don't disappear from the zone once they've been cleared. And although we didn't make it to endgame for the purpose of this review, there does exist group dungeons, raid dungeons, and guild versus guild battles. Overall, it does have an MMORPG feel to it, kinda, and is one of those games you would probably load up when you just want to play something while watching a Netflix movie. It doesn't take a lot of brain power or fast reflexes to play and progress. One thing that I did find annoying, however, is that you are able to have multiple crafting quests at the same time, but as far as regular quest goes, you can only have one active at a time. This seemed a little bit weird to me, as I usually like grabbing all the quests in the area and then completing them as I go on and venture into the land, and that's not happening in this game. Grab a quest, return to the quest giver. Grab a quest, return to the quest giver. Quests add another form of time sink with all the legwork you'll be doing running around. For gameplay, I'm gonna give this game a score of 7.
I will agree with you that I think the gameplay, I think overall smoothness. I didn't have any lag. I think the flow was fun, in my opinion. I really enjoy being a life skiller or a crafter. I really enjoyed this game for that matter of the linear stages of us going through the tutorial of, you know, each progressional stage of how to do so forth and everything. I really enjoyed it, and I think the fact that we spent that good amount of time just going through that tutorial, which was lengthy, but it did educate you quite a bit. So I'm going to give that a score of 7.
Okay, character customization. In my opinion, you would be hard-pressed to find character customization in any game that is more simplistic than what we were introduced to at Albion Online. Basically, choose the sex of your character, choose from a few available presets, and that's just about all there is to it. I'm going to rank the character customization at 3.
With the very limited character customization, there was absolutely, other than just 4 picks for a person, it was pretty hardcore. It was really hard to deal with that one. So I myself, I really love to make myself very unique and don't like to be you know, the cookie cutter type of character. So for this one, I'm really disappointed, but it might be just I don't know. I just didn't really feel it for me. So I'm gonna go with my score. I'm gonna give this a score of 4.
And that brings us to population. Is this game dead? This game seems to be thriving well. Granted, there are only 2 servers to choose from, a test server and a public server. I'm going to guess that they probably combined servers at some point, and one public server became the result. But it's a thriving server with tons of people. And so, like, if you're new to this, don't worry. You're going to be logging in. You're not going to be logging into an empty world. I'm going to give population an 8.
I agree with you. I think that the fact that we were very limited on time frame for what we were doing. I really think that it was very shockingly to go in there and actually see that many people populate that node and that many people in that server with the 280 some people. That was pretty amazing inside that city. We did not, however, go further out into the wilderness and other smaller node city side locations, and that was yet to be known whether it was populated or not. So, but I would, for the most part, I did not feel like I felt like I was alone in that when I was going through that, and being the fact that you're in the city, there's so many people there, it felt very comforting. So I'm going to give that a score of 8.
Okay, next we have UI interface and menus. For me, the UI was clean. I guess that's what it would be. When you equip a certain weapon type, the skills available for that kind of weapon automatically went to your ability bars, which is a nice time saver versus the usual opening up a skill book and dragging the skills to your bars. The menus were straightforward, especially the general purpose ones for adjusting settings in the game. But some of the other menus that were up in the upper right-hand corner, and I forget right now exactly what they were, but some of them were a little confusing to a new person coming into the game for the first time. Sure, in time, as you get used to everything will start to make sense, but for a new person, there can be moments of slight confusion. So with that said, I'm going to give the UI and menus a 5.
Looking at the crafting menu, I felt was amazing. I was enthralled by the idea of looking at all the possibilities of when it comes to crafting and honing in your skills of so many different traits and your ability to move forward of your proficiencies. And I was really amazed with that. Now you did have a standard UI, and you can easily just file through the letter keys, and you can know which ones are going to do what. That was fairly easy. The UI menu, that was not an issue either. So I'm going to give it a score of 7, only because I really enjoyed the crafting menu and the progression page. That was amazing.
Okay, well that brings us to chat spam. For how many people we encountered while in a given zone, there really wasn't a lot of chat spamming going on. Sure, there was conversations going on, but the speed at which the chat was moving was readable. There was also one Korean chat message that I saw, which kind of surprised me that I only saw the one. Overall, I have seen worse chat spam in some AAA pay-to-play games, so I'm going to give chat spam a score of 9.
I agree with you. I think the fact that the chat was not super crazy spamming fast where you couldn't even understand anything. It was easy to read, easy to follow. I didn't see any, gold farming spamming or a lot of foreign languages, as you said before. It felt busy, just steady enough that you can understand that people are actually having decent conversations. So for that, I'm going to give a score of 9.
And finally, that brings us to our last item on the list, cash shop and pay to win. Pay to win should never be an option in any game. Not everyone's wallet or bank accounts are created equally. This game allows you to purchase premium, which allows you to level a little faster, and I get it. The game needs to survive and somehow make some money to stay alive and keep that server up. But on the plus side, the store was not selling any items in the cash shop that give you extra stats or an unfair advantage. The items that were being sold, however, were not overly expensive, but did tend to lean towards costing more than what we usually see in other games. So for the cash shop, I gave it a 5.
I agree with you again on this one too. I think that it's not I didn't feel like it was a pay to win, but it was more like maybe a pay for convenience. It could be sort of say. I'm just not a big fan of the pay to win. For that reason, I'm going to give the score a 5.
So tallying up my scores, that brings me to 61.
My total came up to 61 as well.
Wow. Okay, the same. All right, so adding our scores together, 61, 61 gives us 122. And we divide that by 2 for the final score, which gives us 61, which, you know, makes it real easy when we both end up with the same exact totals.
Right.
And that's going to give us a final letter grade of... With a grade of D, this game is considered below average. It is not completely horrible, and it is playable, but it falls very short in many areas, especially by today's standards. If you can overlook some of its flaws, then you might find that this game is tolerable. There are definitely better games out there to try, but if you have already tried a majority of them, then who knows, maybe this game will be that hidden treasure that will keep you entertained for a while. Anyways, that's it for our ×2 review for this game. We hope you enjoyed it and found it informative, and we will catch you again on the next ×2 review.